My boyfriend opened our relationship to date someone else. Now he's furious. Though I did better. My boyfriend and I, both 20, have been together for just over 3 years. Before this relationship, I was single for about 8 years. Overall, things have been healthy between us. We're both independent, have our own jobs and living situations, and I genuinely enjoy spending time with him. I don't really have any big complaints about the relationship itself, but something happened about 6 months ago that really threw me. He told me he wanted to open the relationship, as in, he wanted to go on dates and sleep with other women. I'd never been in an open relationship before, so I naturally had a lot of questions. He told me I could also go on dates and sleep with other men if I wanted to. At first, I was skeptical. It felt weird and a bit off, but after doing some research and taking time to think it over, I agreed. He also made it clear that if I ever felt uncomfortable, we could close the relationship again. One of the big rules we agreed on was, we do not talk to each other about what we're doing or who we're going on dates with. No details. No names, no comparing notes. So I signed up for a dating app. Within a few days, I had 500 likes, and it's been pretty steady since. I started matching with people, texting, and arranging dates. On average, I go on 1 or 2 dates a month. I've also met some people in similar open relationship dynamics that I've been seeing and sleeping with regularly. To my surprise, I actually like the non-committal aspect of it. Even though I was skeptical at first, I ended up enjoying the open relationship. As per our agreement, I didn't tell my boyfriend any of this. The other day, I was at his place and left my phone on the kitchen counter. He saw my notifications, picked up my phone, and started going through it. He read my messages, went through the dating app, and saw everything. He was furious. It turns out that he wanted to open the relationship, specifically so he could ask out a younger colleague from work. He wanted to take her on a date, but she misunderstood and thought it was just a work lunch. He then admitted that he wanted to see if things would work out with her so that he could ultimately leave me for her, but she didn't want him, and apparently no one else really did either. In the last 6 months, he's had a few rough dates and no one new to sleep with. Meanwhile, I've had multiple dates and regular partners. I honestly just feel a little embarrassed for him at this point. He demanded that we immediately close the relationship. I told him that maybe instead of just closing it, we should think about ending things or at least taking a break. He completely lost it. Started calling me names and got outraged. But he's the one who wanted this dynamic in the first place, so what's the problem now that it's not working in his favor? I left his place and walked home, thinking seriously about breaking up with him for good. He's been blowing up my phone ever since. And I'm not really sure what to say to him. So now, I'm wondering, was I wrong for how I responded when my boyfriend got mad that the open relationship he wanted didn't work out for him, but did for me? She called me in a hole for untying my bikini top. Was I really wrong? I'm an 18-year-old woman and I live in a pretty nice apartment complex with a pool. I regularly used to tan and swim. Today, I went down to the pool around 10 a.m. to lay out and do some homework. To my surprise, nobody else was there. For context, the pool is pretty big, and there are around 50 reclining pool chairs surrounding it. About an hour and a half later, around 11:30, a woman showed up with her kids. Out of every single open spot, she chose the chairs literally right next to me. Annoying, but whatever. I was lying on my stomach in my bikini, minding my own business, doing my thing. I had my bikini top untied at the back so I wouldn't get tan lines on my back. Important detail. My chest was not showing. I was completely on my stomach. Any side boob that might be visible would have shown regardless of whether the straps were tied or untied. When the woman sat down, I turned my head, smiled at her to be polite, and she gave me this disgusted look. Then she started scolding me for having my top untied in front of her kids. I was pretty taken aback, and I said, well, you could go sit somewhere else if you don't like it. She called me an asshole. Now I'm wondering if I really was in the wrong just for having my bikini top untied while tanning. Even though nothing was actually exposed. To clarify again, my boobs were not showing at all. My top was still on. Only the back strap was untied. A lot of people also like to point out the dangers of tanning. I hear those concerns. I do use sunscreen and visit a dermatologist every year or so. I know skin cancer is dangerous. But honestly, laying out in Florida is no different than spending hours on a boat or at the beach. And in the US, it feels like almost everything causes cancer anyway, from processed food to chemicals and clothing. I'm just trying to live my life and take precautions where I can dot, so with all that said, was I wrong for untying my bikini top at a public pool when nothing was actually exposed, even if there were kids nearby?